Hello everyone, hope you're doing well. In this video, I'm going to talk about what is device manager, right? So how that is going to be useful, which is device enrollment manager, which is a part of Intune, right? Why we should use it, right? It is also called as DEM, right? So what is DEM or what is device enrollment manager, right? It's a non-administrator user account who can enroll devices in Intune, right? So I'm going to show you how we can add that in Intune if you have the right set of permissions, right? So permissions includes Intune administrator majorly, as that's the top level role where we can go ahead and assign or add anyone to the DEM, which is Device Enrollment Manager. And now you might be wondering why we should do that, right? And do we really need of that role or someone with that respective permissions or respective account who can do what permissions or maybe kind of device enrollment permissions at least, right? So that's not a role specifically, but it has permissions to enroll devices in bulk as an if a standard user or non-admin account can go ahead and add or enroll devices, there is a limitation, right? There are only 15 devices, those would be allowed to add and register in Intune. But with Device Enrollment Manager, you as any user who has that permissions on the Intune side, they would be able to go ahead and enroll 1,000 devices, right? So it's going to give that account a capability to register as well as enroll complete of 1,000 devices, and all those devices will be part of Intune, right? So once those are part of Intune, now you might be wondering why do we need to add or enroll devices, right? So enrollment is something which we have seen, or you might have seen that there are different ways of doing it, right? And to manage those fully devices using autopilot, that's the one of the way to enroll devices. And then there are other devices as well. If we wanted to do those device enrollment manually, then we have to get the device details, including device serial numbers, hashes, and product IDs, and upload those into the Intune autopilot. And then we should start with the device enrollment with enter ID joined, right? So once the device is enter ID joined, it's going to be get into the device enrollment, and that's going to be enrolled to the autopilot along with the Intune and enter ID together. And that's going to be easy for us to flag that device as a corporate and not the personal one. Once it is flagged with the corporate tag, right, then we would be able to go ahead and classify the respective policies, be it security policies, be it application management or device management or any policies that we wanted to target, right? So it's going to be complete a bundle of device management together with all the policies and configurations that we are going to enforce on all those devices, right? So I was talking about more into the supported methods. What are those, right? So there are a couple of supported methods for enrollment when we have device enrollment manager role or permissions, right? Which supports bulk enrollment using provisioning package, right? So that's the one of the way to provision all those devices with the provisioning package, right? So that's going to be bulk one. The next one is DEM initiated via company portal enrollment, right? So if user or the person who has that DEM role assigned, that user can go ahead and enroll devices with company portal enrollment. And third one is DEM initiated via enter ID joined, right? So that's the one of the way to do that as well. And then there are some permissions, or as I said, at least RBAC role should be used or assigned using Intune administrator, right? To manage the device environment manager accounts in Intune, at least one should have Intune administrator role so that we can go ahead and read, create, update, delete, all those permissions would have been assigned and we can effectively manage it, right? And there are certain steps, so I'll show you that. But before showing that one, I would wanted to talk about a few of the limitations, right? So there are some of the limitations which includes on the different platforms like Android, as well as on Apple devices, right? And there are some of the limitations on other platforms like Windows 10 and 11 as well, but definitely that is something which we can go ahead and understand, and based on that, how we wanted to take it further, and then can be proceed further, right? So let me walk you through one by one, and then it should be uh, clear enough, right? So let's talk about Android Enterprise, right? So when you can enroll, or you can enroll up to 10 personally owned devices with work profiles, right? And the following types, which includes the corporate owned devices with work profile and fully managed devices, right? So those can't be set up via DEM, right? So on the direct way, without enrolling a device, users can enroll devices to the Intune as per the restricted limitations. But if we have DEM enabled, or the person who has DEM permissions, then they won't be able to do it with right set of management or enrollment, like corporate owned devices with work profile or fully managed devices on the Android enterprise, right? On the application management, there are no users associated with DEM device, so apps can't be deployed as available, right? So if there is no such user, that means we cannot deploy any applications. That means that respective app is not available, right? The next is Apple automated device enrollment. That is also not supported and is not compatible with DEM role or DEM permissions. On Android open source project, it is not supported at all, so we cannot use it. So that's the pretty straightforward, and there is no way to use it at all. On the Apple volume purchased apps, we can install the VPP applications if they have VPP device license, but we cannot use apps purchased through Apple VPP with VPP user license, because as per the Apple ID requirements, the app management is not supported there, right? So that's the one of the limitations on Apple volume purchase as well. On the Entra ID side, by using Entra, maximum device limit of less than 1,000 is to use DEM account, right? Which prevents you reaching the 1,000 limit that the DEM account can enroll. So in short, maximum of device enrollment limit is 1,000, right? So that's going to be allowed and is been possible, right? And on the other scenarios where we would must use the certificates on the device level to manage Wi-Fi and email connections in order to make sure those works as expected, right? So on certificate level, that is needed. On the conditional access policies, is the only supported on DEM devices running on the Windows 10 version 18.03 and later versions, and Windows 11 or devices. Device limit restrictions, right? So there are some of the device limit as well. DEM enrolls Windows 10 11 devices in shared mode. So device limit restrictions won't work on them, right? Instead, we can configure a hard limit for these devices in the Entra Admin Center, and that can be identified and managed as needed, right? On the company portal app, only the local device appears in the company portal or the company portal website, and devices users can't wipe DM enrolled devices from company portal, as you have an option to sign into Intune admin portal to wipe from there if in case we wanted to do that, right? And number of accounts limit. So there is limit of 150 DEM accounts in Intune. So that's on the tenant level overall, right? So if we wanted to do that, let's say I wanted to use the DEM account for every site. Let's say we have India site, US, UK, Europe, maybe Asia Pacific, right? So we can create such accounts up to 150 only. So that's on a tenant level, right? We cannot go beyond 150, as that's the whole limit of the Intune tenant, right? So that's why that is also been a part of this limitation. And on the VPN profiles, so user-based VPN profiles don't work with the DEM enrollment devices. So that's also one of the limitation. and that's something needs to remember on it as well, right? So yeah, that is what I wanted to talk about. And now I'll jump on to the demo and we'll show you how we can add the device enrollment manager, right? So let's go ahead and do it. Let me share my screen quickly here and I'll show you, right? All right, let me, perfect. So here you can see that I have already logged into Intune portal. So I'll go back to the home page and I'll show you how we can go there, right? And so to go there, we need to click on devices here. And from here, we need to click on enrollment. Once we are here, we have device enrollment manager option. You can see that I have added one of the accounts previously, but I will show you by adding one more account and that can be added over here. Now to add that account, you must know the user email address or identity, right? So I know one of the identity, so I'll just type it here and hit that add button over there, right? So once it is added, you would see that over here, right? So once that is added successfully, you can see I have this user account created in the tenant, and that is why this account was verified. And if you wanted to delete, you can simply click on three dots, which is ellipse over here. Simply select or click on it and hit that delete button. It would be deleted, and that's the cleanup of activity, right? So yeah, this is a pretty straightforward and simple. And if you have more than 50, so that's the limit. You cannot add more than 50, right? So 150 is the limit over here. And if you wanted to export, you can simply hit that export button, and refresh is also there in case you wanted to see, and if that is not showing up. Also at the top right here, you can see two managers are added. That means these two accounts are part of this device environment manager permissions, right? So those are added over here as well, right? So as I said, and as I talked about the different permission scopes and the limitations, those are very important to know and understand while using and going through all of this or the device environment manager, right? So that's mentioned over here on this page, right? And this is something which you must also go through so that you know what is expected, what is not expected, and how you can use it and manage it, right? So yeah, that's all I wanted to show you and talk about it, right? Do let me know if you have any questions, any doubts, so that I can also collaborate and answer on those things. And don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends and people around you so that they can also know and learn about it. As learning is never going to stop you, so that you can keep upgrading yourself and exploring new things, right? And don't forget to subscribe to the channel as well so that you would see every new video when it is uploaded and you will get to learn something new, right? So yeah, that's all for this video. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.